Supernatural in 2016 is in its 12th season, Destiel still as strong as ever. With a show that's been on for so long, it's hard to harken back to a time when this was still a strong ship, but also a new and growing one. This was of course all the way back in Season 6. A long way, but back we go. Season 6 brought us many things. Soulless Sam, who is either terrifying or amusing depending on which episode you were watching, and how dark your sense of humor is. You also had Family Man Dean, who suddenly everyone judged for wanting a family, despite telling him he should have one in the previous season. And of course, the War in Heaven, which Sam and Dean pretty much ignored most of the time so they could call Cass to do important things like watch porn with them and send them back in time. In contrast to Season 5 Destiel, which was cute and full of moments of them getting to know each other and showing how close they were, Season 6 is the Destiel of angst and longing looks and sad silences, prompting oh so many fix-its. But let's fix the fact that this video took so long to make by jumping into the most shippable Destiel moments in Season 6. Honorable mention to some other pairings that got spotlighted this season. We had the Meg-Stiel kiss in episode 10, appropriately titled Caged Heat, which sounds like the smuttiest erotica novel ever written. Also for those shipping Calthazar, aka Balthazar and Castiel, this was the season for you. Well, up until the end. Sorry guys. But hey, that's what fix-its are for. Oh, and of course there was this.
Sam, it's so good to see you alive.
Yeah, you too.
Oh, Castiel. This never happens for you guys. But that's not what you're here to see. You're here for Destiel, so let's get started. Number 6, Pizza Man Porn, Episode 10, Caged Heat. Sam and Dean, mostly Dean, are sick of working for Crowley as his lackeys. They're tired of getting alphas for his nefarious purposes, and that means it's time to call Castiel. His War in Heaven can wait, because they need him urgently. So urgently at that very second that there's time for him to watch some porn while they do some research. This scene is cute, featuring a Cass who is perplexed by the act of spanking and the low-rent, B-for-budget porn I'm sure they're getting in the room they're staying at. It gets to be ranked as a moment despite it quite obviously being played for comedy for a couple of reasons. 1. The Fix-It launched. The idea of Cass watching and learning from porn was appealing to many a shipper, and fics of Dean showing him what he knows or vice versa became quite popular. It also leads into the I learned it from the Pizza Man line after Cass kisses Meg later in the episode, which gives us a very hopeful looking Dean in the back, which is a nice callback or reversal of the time when Dean kissed Anna back in Season 4. Basically, if you have a dirty mind, this moment gives you a lot to play with.
You watching porn? Why?
He was there.
Number 5. Cass needs help finding the weapons from heaven. Episode 3, The Third Man. Things are a bit different with Castiel. He's harder to summon and seems more detached from humanity than before. Well, that's cause he's got there's a civil war in heaven problems. Before he can ask for help, he has to be the Cass he's going to be for most of this season, which is a more aloof, less human-like Cass than we had previously seen, targeting back more to Season 4 rather than Season 5. But that's okay, cause that prompts him and Dean to have a confrontation, leading to a still frame that has been loved and used from the moment it appeared on screen to now. It's Dean and Cass gazing at each other with a perplexed Sam standing in the background just waiting to be photoshopped out. Dean demands to know what's going on with Cass and prompts Cass to give him an actual heartfelt apology, showing how much he genuinely cares what Dean thinks of him. A theme that recurs throughout this whole season. Because loving someone doesn't mean never having to say you're sorry. It means saying you're sorry and actually meaning it. Sam gets an apology too, but it's nowhere near as heartfelt.
So what, you like him better or something?
Dean and I do share a more profound bond. I wasn't gonna mention it.
Guess.
That's right, Sam. Sorry, not sorry. Number 4. The angel in the dirty trench coat who's in love with you. Episode 17, My Heart Will Go On. Something's not quite right with the world. People are dying in extremely convoluted ways. And wait, Joe and Ellen are alive? And the Titanic never sank? What's going on? It's time to call Balthazar. That's right, Balthazar, who is just as confused about being summoned as many of the viewers. When the Winchesters try to get him to help, he delivers this gem.
Sorry, you have me confused with the other angel? You know, the one in the dirty trench coat who's in love with you?
The best part about this line is how everyone just completely rolls with it, like it's a well-known fact beyond just being a nod to fangirls and shippers. Because of that, this became a now canon admission of people acknowledging the potential nature of the relationship between Cass and Dean, or at least that's the way some people took it. The episode then proceeds to validate this statement when Cass later on jeopardizes his endgame to ensure that Sam and Dean stay alive and out of fate's clutches. He jeopardized the entire war in heaven for them. It's no wonder Balthazar thinks he's in love. Number 3. Get out of my ass, Cass. Episode 19, Mommy Dearest. The hunt for Eve, mother of all creatures, is on. They have their Phoenix Ash from the bizarre Western-themed episode to take her down. But first, it's time to summon Cass, and they all turn to Dean, who promptly shouts,
"Why's it always gotta be me that makes the call, huh? It's not like Cass lives in my ass. The dude's busy. Cass, get out of my ass."
That's right, get out of his ass, Cass. While Supernatural at this point had already revealed itself to be extremely self-aware, Destiel was still a relatively new, albeit huge fandom phenomenon, and so playing to the audience did occur in moments like this, but it was more spread out, so that for the most part at this point the audience still felt more titillated rather than teased, a teasing that would ultimately come to some fans thinking that the show was actively queerbaiting them. But as for this moment, while it is clearly for the fangirls and shippers, it's not too out of character or out of place to work. Yet looking back, it is a little obvious. The scene symbolizes the connection other characters believe Cass and Dean share, and also highlights that same closeness and how used to it the two of them have become. Still, Cass should really get out of his ass. Especially since by season's end, we know he's just been hanging around invisible watching Dean. Cass, I thought you had a war to fight. Number 2. Cass saves Dean. Episode 21, Let It Bleed. Dean and Cass are on the outs for the first time since his introduction. It turns out Cass has been working with Crowley the whole time, and Dean feels completely betrayed. To top all of that off, his Knot family of Lisa and Ben have been kidnapped. During a torture-filled investigation, a demon gets the better of him, and it's on. But wait, as always, it's Cass to the rescue. Despite everything going on, Cass still takes time out to save Dean and try to make things right. The schism so clearly hurts both of them, and Cass is devastated to have let Dean down. The whole sequence just makes you want to make things right again and teleport back to the glory days of season 5. Of Dean adjusting Cass's tie and filling him up with burgers. It's definitely a great moment for angst lovers. They just both want to make it better, but they can't.
I always come when you call, and I am your friend. Still, despite your lack of faith in me and now your threats, I just saved you, yet again.
And finally, the number 1 most shippable moment of season 6, Superman. Episode 20, Man Who Would Be King. This is not a good episode to be Castiel. His whole plan is laid out, and it's not good. He's been working with Crowley the entire time so that he could get souls from purgatory to supercharge himself for his war against Raphael. He's been lying to the boys, spying on them, and more importantly, he's been trying to maintain the image of himself he has cultivated for Dean, not only for the Winchesters, but for himself. Castiel still wants to be the angel Dean thinks he is, and is trying so hard to still be that person, but he just isn't anymore. Throughout everything, as he's cut himself off more and more from Dean, he's changed, fundamentally drifting from the humanity he had been cultivating. Ultimately spying on the Winchesters as they get more and more suspicious, he slips up, revealing that he's been watching them the whole time.
It is a little absurd, though. I know. Superman going to the dark side.
The look of sadness on Dean's face says it all. Just the sense of loss and betrayal for something that they had, a closeness that is now damaged, but still so strong, neither of them can let it go.
That sounds so simple when you say it like that. Where were you when I needed to hear it?
I was there. Where were you?
Oh, season 6. So different from 5, and it brought a whole new set of shippers on board. For those who like their pairings with a little bit more edge or to be laced in secrets and angst, this season yielded a lot. But for those who like to keep it a bit more light, aside from the fix-its, they may have felt that there was less going on for them this season, and hence less moments. And yet you will hear many fans say that this is the season that started them shipping this pair. This may be because the Destiel moments in this season feel more like one long moment than several separate independent ones. Dean is so central to a lot of Castiel's motivations this season. In flashbacks, you see how the moments where he could have turned to Dean but didn't are what aid him on his path towards darkness, or at least megalomania. You see how trying to be good, and especially for Dean, motivate Cass. But in this new world of free will, nothing seems to go right for him. As Castiel loses some of that cutesy humanity, he also gains more in depth as a character, and there's a lot more to work with and build on. So for those who are already shippers, their stories could become more rich. And for those who hadn't seen it before, the depth of the connection between these characters was so heavily stated throughout, it may have drawn more people to them. This season highlighted how important Castiel and Dean's relationship is to the show itself, and how that can be compelling rather than kitschy. What was your favorite moment of Season 6? Was it one I've mentioned? Was it something else? Share all your favorite moments down below. And of course, as always, your favorite episode. Mine's actually the parallel universe one where they get to enter the lives of their egotistical actor versions of themselves. It's a little self-indulgent, but it's very cute and fun. Tweeting Misha Collins is best Misha Collins. This has been Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy. Thanks so much for watching. I'm so sorry I've been away for so long. Explanation video coming soon. But as always, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned, for there are as many ships out there as there are stars in the sky.